Elon Musk
Yes.
is a meme starter, one of the biggest meme tweeters in the world. He's the butt of a number of memes as well. What do you think him owning Twitter means for the platform?
You know, when he first started making hay, saying he was going to buy it, I thought it was going to be nonsensical. Now that he's invested and this is going to go through, one of the things that we looked at was, you know, what does Elon Musk like to tweet? And he does tend to get right in the middle of very important world's historic geopolitical flame wars, just recently with Zelensky, for instance, about the war in Ukraine. And so um, he's not a politician, but he's very much a political figure, and he now has bought one of the most consequential communication technologies of our present day. And so we have to be on alert and very careful about charting these changes that are going to come about at Twitter very rapidly. And when he first started saying that he was going to buy the platform, of course, many good employees left right away. And so I'm afraid that the people who are there that are doing excellent work are not going to want to stay there because of the political climate that their new boss brings.
You make a very good point that just in the last 24 hours, he got right in the middle of a war between Russia and Ukraine, got a really heated response from Ukraine's president, Zelensky himself. What are your biggest concerns about someone like Elon Musk owning this platform? And would you say concern is your overwhelming sentiment right now, or are you also intrigued or potentially even a little bit excited about the possibilities?
Well, if you read the book Meme Wars, it starts with the Occupy movement, and Twitter is a key figure throughout the book as a place where people do launch meme wars and start and spark political movements, and where politicians have gotten their voice and their audience, all the way up to where we end the book at the insurrection, where a then sitting president of the United States was able to use memes and hashtags in order to foment an insurrection. With Elon Musk, I imagine more than being concerned, I don't know the way in which he's going to come at questions of content moderation that are, you know, under the purview of what are ostensibly called trust and safety teams. And particularly some of the tweets and memes that Elon has been sharing over the years do tend to run right up on the line of terms of service, whether they're transphobic or homophobic or anti-woman, or almost financial scams. He was also behind the early calls for people to take hydroxychloroquine to cure coronavirus. And so everywhere we look and see his opinions floating around, we have to wonder to what degree is he also spreading misinformation and disinformation on the platform. But business model wise, I can't imagine that this is going to be a big boon for Twitter over time, because if the quality of the information people have access to on this platform degrades much further, then people are going to seek out similar technologies.
Public trust is fairly low when you look at the surveys in social media or on social media. Given your work covering and researching the Stop the Steal movement, what do you make of the timing of this and how Elon Musk could influence the moderation of content on the platform just weeks, days before midterm elections?
It's a really good question, because we don't know. What's interesting about bureaucracies in general is they're usually so big and inflexible that it would be hard for him to undo everything all at once, unless he were to say, we're going to get rid of the algorithms that remove hate speech, for instance. There are other algorithms that remove gore and pornography. Maybe they leave those in, but maybe they remove the filters that take out hate speech. That could be really horrible for people who are using Twitter to look up information about voting or information about civic participation. And they're looking at it from the perspective of wanting to know if a candidate is Black or Latino, and they get then inundated with a bunch of hate speech and slurs and insults, because that stuff is the stuff of content moderation. That's why our Twitter feed isn't like AOL in the 90s, which was just heinously full of spam. And I think that based on the way he was talking about bots, I don't know if he really in-depthly understands the way in which this platform has evolved over time, and that bots have been there since very early on Twitter. And so the idea that you could get rid of bots, it's not just a question of figuring out what's automated, but also figuring out, well, is that business that is using a bot that is totally legitimate, are they able to keep using the bot in that way? So I think he's gonna, I mean, unfortunately, I think he bought a big bag of problems.
Right. So last quick question. We're, weeks away from an election. How do you think the meme wars are going to pick up between now and then? Elon Musk aside.
Well, Elon Musk is a voracious memer, and he does tend to get a lot of his memes from Reddit. So I have a feeling he'll be in the game. If Trump comes back, we're going to see the reanimation of QAnon. It's already happening over on Truth Social. I think the meme war to watch right now is between Dr. Oz and Fetterman. Fetterman's been coming out with a bunch of memes linking different things that Oz has done in his past to funny and quippy sayings and short videos. Oz, too, has been trying to make Fetterman or expose Fetterman for having some medical issues. And so that is ongoing. We are also seeing a meme war develop around Dark Brandon, this idea that Joe Biden isn't what the insulters have been saying all along, that he's this senile old man. No, instead, he's this hyper-aware man with laser eyes that is organizing some kind of deep state takeover by having Trump's family charged, and, of course, what's going on in Mar-a-Lago. And as we watch these things play out, what we know that is underneath meme wars, of course, are lies, disinformation. They're made to trick you. They're made to incite you. They're made to be confusing. But at the end of the day, because they function in memetics, they're also emotionally contagious. And so people do share them because it feels good.